episode of Humans Are Trash podcast. Don't forget, subscribe to the podcast, share it with friends, let somebody know. So, and for people who've never watched before, the podcast is simply about the hypocrisy of humans. Not black humans, not white humans, not Asians, not Latinos, not Italians. All humans are trash, point blank. Why are we trash? It's because how we treat each other, how we don't take accountability for our actions and how we don't take accountability for how we treat each other. So today we're gonna dive into this ideology of you know do it yourself. Right now we're in the midst of this whole DEI, and we going to go away from DEI and become a country that operates on merits. Boy, let me tell you. See, this is the problem. First of all, America alone has never been a country that was based off merits. It has never been that. So this idea that somehow this is what we we getting back to the basics of the merits, that's hypocritical out the gate, because that ain't who we are. That ain't who we never been. Are there segments of people who work hard and make it? Of course. Of course there is. But is there a overwhelming number of people who have gotten jobs, opportunities, and positions and things in America simply for the fact that they was part of the right group? Hell yeah. Are there groups in America who don't get what they deserve, what they should have gotten, or a fair shot at stuff simply for the fact that they not in the right group? Hell yeah. So don't tell me this is about nothing in the systems in America screams out equity, or screams out merit. And it shows itself in damn near every aspect of our country that the merits don't matter. It just doesn't matter. So, for example, on paper, from a qualification standpoint, Hillary Clinton was probably one of the most qualified people to ever run for president. Not qualified women, qualified people. Take Democrat off the table. Take Republican off the table. Take all of that off the table. From a purely qualified standpoint, she was one of the most, if not the most qualified person to ever run for president. But she didn't get elected. She did not get elected because she had a bad platform. She did not get elected because what she was saying didn't vibe with people and all the stuff right here. Hillary Clinton didn't get elected simply for the fact that she was a woman. We can cut this up and play these games any kind of way you want to say it, in any kind of way you want to frame it. But she didn't get elected because she was a woman. It's just that simple. And her merits that you allegedly say we gonna get back to, you ignored them. And you elected a person who, from a qualification standpoint, was significantly less qualified than her to hold this position. So don't talk to me about merits and the fact that what you bring to the table matters, because it doesn't. That's the hypocrisy of humans. We love to preach this sermon of your merits matter and your work is going. No, it don't. Don't nobody care about your hard work for real. Some people do, of course. Some people do. There's no absolutes. The only absolute is God. But outside of that, the people don't care about that. If we cared about merits, the best singer would always get the record deal. If we cared about merits, the best rapper would get the record deal. If we cared about merits, then people who are qualified would always get the job. But we don't care about that. We divvy each other up into these little groups. And then when somebody who we identify with shows up to get something, whatever that something is, be it a job, a loan, an opportunity, if that person shows up and they fit one of the groups we identify with, or we understand their plight, then we're more likely to give them whatever they're looking for, whatever that happens to be. Again, be that job, be that loan, be that rental property, whatever that is. That's what we do. And that all, again, none of that has anything to do with merit. There are people out here every day who get turned down for apartments, houses, and everything simply for the fact that they got the wrong last name. Their credit and pay is equal to somebody else, but they don't get it because they don't have the right name, because they don't fit the description of who you want to give this loan to get his property to. So it has nothing. We are so far removed from being a merit-based system. It is ridiculous. Right now, if in America, in the justice system, if you have enough money, you can damn near beat any charge you want to beat. Any charge you want to beat. If you got enough money, you have access to the right lawyers and the right experts who could testify on your behalf and get all kind of evidence and these testing done, you can beat damn near any charge you want to beat if you got enough money. How is that merit based? How see, because when you say merit based, what you imply is that it is equal. And as long as we put everything on the table for person A and person B, if there's a preponderance of the evidence, or this person has enough training and they have the same amount of training, or one has more training than the other, then theoretically the person with the more training, knowledge, and know-how is going to get it. And that, stop playing. That's not happening. It's so not happening. Again, does it happen? Yes. But is it happening on a regular basis? No, it is not. And again, this has nothing, and I know how you do, humans. But what you want to do is you probably want to have this conversation in your comfort zone, because that's what we do. That is one of the birthplaces of hypocrisy, is having conversations about real topics in controversial areas or uncomfortable areas, and you don't want to have it in that uncomfortable area. You want to have it in a manner that makes you comfortable. And if we have it only in a place that makes you comfortable, then what we do is we never really have a real conversation about said topic or said thing. So I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here just to put it out here and point out the hypocrisy of the entire situation. Merit-based system. It is nowhere near a merit-based system. What we have is a system that is overwhelmingly dominated by white men. And this isn't a racial thing, it is just a fact. In America, the system is built heavily off of, and the foundation of, white men. White men have set the standard. White men have make the rules. White men have taken the advantages, and that is what happens in America. So even more so right now, there is an overwhelming push to make sure that white men, regardless of merit, are in all positions of authority and power in America again. And again, this is not racial. I'm not saying this is racial, because it's white women are going to feel this too, because they are going to be marginalized in this whole thing too. Asians are going to, the handicap are going to, special needs people are going to be marginalized in all of this, because white men who put together this construct and preach this message of merit have always put their thumb on the scale to make sure that whatever the merits are, they're not relevant as it relates to them. They've always done that. And again, this is not a liberal thing and a Republican. And I keep saying that because that's another thing they do. If you come out and you point out the fact that they keep their finger on the scale to continuously keep things unbalanced, then they cry foul. Oh, you're race baiting. This ain't about race. You just so happen to be a white man. If you'd have been Asian dudes, if Asian dudes were at the top, we'd be talking about Asian dudes. If it was black dudes, we would be talking about black dudes. But that's not what this is about. This is about the hypocrisy of it. This is the hypocrisy of a group of individuals who have convinced an entire country that we need to move towards a merit-based system, a system that takes into account your merits and your work and what you have done, and we should look at that. Meanwhile, ignoring all of that and putting people in positions of authority and power who are nowhere near qualified to be in said positions, and getting rid of people who are overly qualified to be in the positions that they are in, to be replaced with an underqualified white male. Make this make sense. But then but you're preaching this sermon of a merit-based system. DEI, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is but when you do that, then what you do is you make sure you're letting people who are not qualified get positions. That's not what that means. And let me say this for the people that don't truly understand what DEI means. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, what that means is if you have 20 applications, and out of those 20 applications, one is black, one is Indian, one is Chinese, but all of the applications qualifications are the same, then what that says is you have to look at the Asian, the black, and the Indian. You have to interview them in some cases. You need to bring them in and talk to them. And some people say, well, you brought them in simply because they was black. Not simply because they were black, because they were qualified in black, because they were qualified in Indian, they were qualified in Asian. So that doesn't mean bringing someone simply because they fall into one of these minority groups, which the number one recipient of DEI is white women. So it's not a racial thing, because this merit-based system, this merit-based lie that we're fed here in America has nothing to do with race per se. What it has everything to do is white men wanting to still be in a position to where a merit-based system that they tell us that we have to thrive in, they don't have to thrive in. They don't have to work. They don't have to do any of those things. That's the system that they want us to believe is the best system for us to be a part of. And that's what this is about. It's diversity and inclusion, because given the opportunity, what can and will and has happened in the past is they will stack the deck, and it's happening now. When going unchecked and when not required to diversify a workplace or job site, they won't do it. They will simply fill positions with underqualified white men, because that's who they're comfortable around. White men tend to be comfortable around other white men. So they want that to be the case. And again, somebody will watch this because people hear what they want to hear. And that again, it goes back to wanting to have a conversation in a place that you're comfortable with. So you have to hear, or you want to hear the racial component, and you want to hang your hat on the racial component of this. But this is less about race and more about a power paradigm that you are forcing upon the rest of us to maintain your dominance in a society in which you are no longer the majority. So because you're not the majority in numbers, you have to insert yourself in an authoritarian way to take control. It is, it might only be three of us, but what we'll do is we'll wreak havoc, us three, to make sure that everybody else knows who running things around here. That's what this is about. That's what this comes down to. This has nothing to do with an election. What this is a movement away from what you are lying to us about, which is a system of supposed merit. Because it's not. Again, historically, America has never been that. That has never been our makeup. That's not even the fabric that we were built upon. We were built upon a society that put to work millions of people for free to help build this country. Where's the merit in that? For a group of people to do all of the work but reap none of the benefits of said work. Where is the merit in that? Then they work to help build, or basically build, the country and the financial backbone of it, get freed, and you promise them a piece of the pie that they help bake, put together, and everything. You promise them 40 acres and a mule, their slice of that pie, and then you still don't give them that slice of that pie. You still don't reward their merit. You still didn't do it, and got mad when they asked to be rewarded for the work that they had done. But you want us to believe that we are in a merit-based system. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. You want us to believe we're in a merit-based system when you just really, from a totality standpoint, looking at the bigger picture of it, you just gave women the right to vote. You didn't even feel like women deserved a voice in a country that they worked in, that they paid taxes in. You didn't even think they deserved a voice. But again, you want to talk to us about a merit-based system. Stop lying, dudes. Because that's not what this is. That's the hypocrisy of it. When you ask for everybody to work as if your work will speak for itself. And that's not true, because again, in a situation where someone's work should have spoken for itself, you ignored it. You made up lies about it. Because that's what happens in America. Nobody cares about the truth. Nobody wants to hear what the facts of a situation is. What you want to hear is, you want somebody to attaboy your biases. This is what you want to do. You want somebody to put their arm around your shoulder and co-sign your bull. Is what you want them to do. You're not looking for the truth. You're not looking for the facts in the case. That's the hypocrisy of it. But you will stand and say, "Hey, it's about the facts." No, it's not. Because when they give you the facts, you come back with fake news. You're just making this up. That's the crazy left. It's not. It's just somebody calling you out. And I know, again, I said that, you go, oh, it's coming out at the Democrat, the Republicans. I know. No, I'm not a liberal. I lean liberal, but I'm not liberal. I'm conservative. Like most people, they are in the middle. And because most people are in the middle, we create this environment for people to become hypocrites because we make them choose sides. You make them say that they're Democrat or Republican. When again, most people are right there in the middle. And when you make people choose sides, now they become hypocrites because now you want me to be liberal, but I'm conservative on some issues. Or I'm conservative, but I'm liberal on some issues. But I can't say that or I can't express that because you made me feel like I have to, it's all or none. It's all or none. Either you're Republican or you're not. Either you with us or you against us. No, I'm just human. And by being human, I'm in the middle. I'm tough on crime. I want most of these people who commit crime to go to jail. Yes, I do. I don't care about none of this other stuff. If you break in my house, I want you to go to jail. You assault somebody, I want you to go to jail. You murder somebody, I want you to go to jail. You touch kids, I want you to go to jail. And I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your economic background is. I want you to go to jail. So yeah, I'm tough on crime. That's a conservative ideology. People are, well, on the liberal side, they go, well, why did that happen? Where does that come from? I don't care. I don't really care. It is what it is. But that's the conservativeness in me. The liberal side of me says that, hey, sometimes people need help. That's why we need Medicare. We need health care for everybody because sometimes people need help. There's no reason being healthy should be something that people have to pay for. Being healthy should be a right, not a want or an option. But that's the liberal side of me. See what I'm saying? Because I'm in the middle. I'm not playing this game with you. You're not gonna make me choose. I shouldn't have to choose. I don't want to choose. You know why I don't want to choose? Because I want to be liberal when I want to be liberal, and I want to be conservative when I want to be conservative, because that's how I feel. I feel conservative on this, and I feel liberal on that. And you can't make me be otherwise, because when you do, again, you create an environment for people to be hypocrites. You make me slide into a liberal lane, and now when I comment and I say something that falls in line with the Republicans or with the conservatives, now all of a sudden you don't like me no more. Now all of a sudden I'm Judas. Now all of a sudden I'm a backslider. I'm a coon. I'm all of this stuff right here. No, I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And the only reason why I'm sounding like a hypocrite right now is because you made me choose, and I didn't want to. But that's what we do in America. We are a breeding ground for hypocritical behavior. We make people become hypocrites because we make them choose sides. And nobody should have to choose sides about anything that you really don't feel about that. And then you should have the freedom to be able to go back and forth and be comfortable with that. But we don't do that. We make people uncomfortable when you fall on one side and you want to do something else. We make them uncomfortable. We put pressure on them. We tell them that they selling out and with stuff like that. But that's what happens when you make people choose sides. Then you preach to them that we on a merit-based system, and you realize that because I chose the wrong side, all of a sudden my merits don't matter no more. See, that's the hypocrisy of all of this. That's the insanity of it. Because I chose a side that's different from yours on a particular issue. Now all of a sudden you don't want to hear nothing I got to say because we don't agree on 1 or 2 points. Make that make sense. Now my merits are irrelevant because we don't agree on the amount of prison time somebody should get. Now I'm liberal because we don't agree on prison time. Now I don't qualify for this particular job because of that. Or because I see somebody and I feel like they're a detriment to our country and I say something, now all of a sudden I'm not qualified for a job simply for the fact that I spoke truth to power. Now all of a sudden I'm a problem. See, this is what we got to do better at. And again, I don't think we're gonna do better. I think we should, but we ain't gonna do better because that's what we do as humans. We keep doing the same thing over and over again. Humans throughout history have repeated itself. It's even sayings, if you don't learn from your history, it's doomed to repeat itself. Well, clearly we ain't learning because we keep repeating everything over and over. It's stuff that we've seen happen a million times. We still walk our happy ass right down that same road, get hit in the face by that same brick over and over and over again. That's what we keep doing it. We keep doing it. In America, we're experiencing something in America right now that other countries have experienced and seen. It's a complete roadmap to it. We've seen it play out over and over and over again in other places. Now it's playing out here. And somehow, magically, in our head, we think or act like oh no, I see what the end results were over there. It couldn't possibly be going to happen like that here. Okay. Okay. You keep believing that if you want to. You keep believing that when you want to. We're in the midst of the biggest hypocritical shift in hundreds of years in America. That's what we are. And again, it doesn't make America unique because the podcast ain't called Humans Are Trash for nothing. What we going through ain't nothing that hadn't happened in a bunch of other countries. It's just our turn. So we're not unique. We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, and nobody else has ever fallen for this banana in the tailpipe. They have. In every country that has fallen for the banana in the tailpipe, other people tried to tell them, "Hey, yo, it's a banana in your tailpipe. Yo, don't pull off. It's a banana in your tailpipe." They don't listen. And now the car break down, and you're trying to put the pieces back together. And that, unfortunately, is going to be us. Now, how many pieces and how broken this car is down the road? Who the hell knows? But we gonna find out. Please believe that and know that we are going to find out because it ain't going nowhere. This car is going to break down. And again, now whether it's gonna break down just to have 4 flat tires, just out of gas, or is the timing belt gonna be broke? Is the engine gonna go out? Is the transmission gonna go out in this car? That's what we're gonna see. And at this point, we don't know yet. Because we still driving the car down the road. We see the smoke. We hear the clanging. We know something wrong in the car. We just don't know what. But we gonna find out. No, please believe this. We gonna find out. And we're not gonna be happy regardless of what it is. Even if it's just 4 flat tires. No, who the hell want to replace 4 tires? That's expensive as hell. So even if it's at the low end, it's still gonna be a problem. But we still driving this car. We still on the highway. Nobody got the nuts to say, "Hey man, pull over. Let's look up under the hood before we go any further." Nobody'll do it. Boy, like we say, humans are trash. We are the worst. Because we will do stuff that is counterproductive and counter to what's best for us or the people around us. That's what make us even more trash is the fact that we're traveling down this road in this car and we know we hitting people along the way. We know we running over people. But the hypocrisy in us won't let us see that we part of the problem. We could stop this car from going down the road. We're sitting right next to the driver. We can easily slide our foot over and put our foot on the brake too. But we ain't doing it. We just driving and playing dumb. Well, not everybody. Have y'all out there playing dumb like, boom. What was that? Is that a speed bump? No, it's other humans. Dude, was that a pothole? No, it's another human. But the hypocrite in you won't let you acknowledge that you're running over your fellow humans, and while you steadily listen to the driver tell you, don't worry about that. I got this. You know I would never hit no humans while we driving. Yeah, you would. You really would. But y'all don't care. Why? Because most of y'all trash. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Share the podcast with somebody else. I know this ain't for everybody, but I don't mean it to be for everybody. What I mean it for is the people that can at least acknowledge that the vast majority of humans are trash. We are some hypocritical, self-righteous, selfish bastards. It is what it is. So I'll catch y'all next episode. God willing, in the creek don't rise.